If you've been chasing the man that you know you should have been, but still stuck in the same place, you need to hear this. Most men will die. Like I said, most men will die without meeting the man they were meant to become. I refuse to be one of them. Like, I refuse to be dead and not meeting the best version of myself. I ain't doing it. So let's get right into it. And I'm gonna try to be very direct when I talk about this, because this is my stance. I've been talking about the man I'm becoming for a long time. But if I'm being real, the man been sitting in the waiting room. And when I say the waiting room, you guys will get to it once I continue to explain it, how I feel and what's going on. He's been in the waiting room. I picture him in my mind. The way he moves, the way he thinks, the way he lives with purpose. But just imagining him is not real. At some point, I had to open the door and bring him out and let him meet the world, man. Stop having these visions and saying that I was gonna be this man that I know I can be and not bring him to the world. But I am gonna say this, that decision didn't come easy, because it came with a lot. It came with a lot. Me not really knowing him. So kept him in the waiting room. With me keeping him in the waiting room, it was real dangerous. Let me tell you why. The waiting room is real comfortable. Like, when I say comfortable, you got ideas, but you're not acting. You got potential with no risk. I wasn't risking anything. I knew I had the potential to do anything that I wanted to do, but I wasn't risking anything. I was just stuck in my old version of myself. I used to tell myself so much. I'll start next week. I'll get real when life settles down. But life never settled down. Life got worse. The right time will never come. I've been through so much in my life that I had to learn the hard way. And being so hard-headed and not seeing things clearly from my vision of the person to who I was and the person that I know I can be, I sat there longer. And with sitting there longer, it made it harder to get up. So guess what? Like I said, life got harder. But I had one wake-up call. And the wake-up call was, like, I lost my job. And it wasn't just a paycheck that I lost. It was the stability. It was a routine that I built around my life. One day I was clocking in. The next day I was filing for unemployment. Never could have thought about that. Never could have thought that I'll be losing my job and having to file for unemployment and not working. That's not me. That's not me. I knew I was lost. I knew it. I could have sat and did nothing. Feeling sorry for myself, not caring, being the victim. But I snapped out of it. That's why I said it was the wake-up call. I snapped out of it. I started to build something on my own. After losing my job, I wondered what I was gonna do, because like I said, I didn't have a plan. I didn't have anything, but I did know that I was good with my hands. I knew that I had something on the back burner. So I started rebuilding LNS. I didn't have no investors. I ain't had no big safety net. I ain't had nothing. I started from nothing. But I knew I had skills. I had my hands. And I made a decision that I was gonna grind. I was gonna grind nonstop to build a business. I went from door to door. Like, I handed out flyers. I went to Home Depot, stood out Home Depot and passed out flyers. Like, I posted little flyers on the internet. Nobody wasn't liking it. No engagement, none. But guess what? I kept pushing. I kept doing what I needed to do. Like, yeah, I be posting, yeah, I do accent walls, I do barn doors, I hang shelves. Nah, I'm trying to do anything to grow the business. I just didn't want to build walls. I built the first step towards meeting the man that's in the waiting room, like I said. Very different guy. Very different guy. Throughout the losing the job and all of that, I had a breaking point. And in that breaking point, like, so much came about. Like, it was just ridiculous. But let me be real with you, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. There was a time I didn't want to keep going. A time when the weight of everything, losing myself, not knowing who I was, losing the family, losing the marriage. I felt like I failed. I felt like I failed at everything. Things got so heavy that I thought, real talk, maybe I should end it all. Just get it out the way. It would be easier. Those were my thoughts. I was lost. I was lost. And I didn't even know who I was anymore. I was waking up every day. But not living. I was just moving through life with no purpose, no identity, no spark, no reasoning for why I was getting up. And here's the thing. If I would have ended it all right there, I would never met the man that's waiting in the waiting room. Would have never met him. That version of me, one day at a time. That thought is what saved me, of knowing that I can be the great person to everybody, all loved ones. I couldn't let that story end before I found out what that man looked like in real life, how that man moved in real life. It was a new version of myself. And yeah, I talk about my divorce a little bit, not much. I try to keep it on the rap, but I know it's in all my videos. My divorce and losing myself. The divorce, it shook me. It shook me. You get married, you think it's forever. And when it ends, you just don't lose a relationship. You lose the person you were, the version of yourself, who you were in that relationship. I questioned everything. I questioned so much that I didn't even know what questions I was asking myself. I questioned my worth, my ability to love. I also questioned my purpose as a man. The way I was moving, I had nothing. I didn't even know where to start. I had to rebuild from scratch. Not just my life, me. And that's when I realized the man in the waiting room was always there. Was always there. Didn't show up until I started doing the work. The hard work, not the easy work. The hard work of finding myself again. It was a long road. It was a long road, a lot of different things that went on in life that made me really seek everything, or the calling, the little voices in my head. So that's when my spiritual walk began. Like, it began when, after everything, even though I built the business, I still felt like I was missing something. I wanted more than just money. I wanted peace, purpose, a reason to keep fighting. And that's when I started the spiritual walk of just trying to have a path, or which way I needed to go. And I'll be honest with you, I'm nowhere near where the man in that waiting room is spiritually. I'm a work in progress. But every step I take toward God, every time I pray, every time I sit and reflect on my life and see things from a different lens, I feel like I'm inching closer to the man I've been talking about. It's a long road. And throughout this long road, I've had good influencers, bad influencers. And it's like, now at this point, I don't want to be around negativity, but I am going to say this. The most influenced person in my life right now, I haven't met him. Like I said, Philip Anthony Mitchell, pastor of 2819 Church in Atlanta. During that time, I came across one of his sermons from a friend of mine. His message just hit different. He wasn't sugarcoating. He wasn't patting you on your back. He wasn't just preaching. He was speaking the truth that made me face myself. I remember one sermon, I felt like he was reading my life out loud. And all I did was sit there and listen and understand exactly what he was talking about. And it touched home for me for a lot. He also reminded me that my mistakes don't have to be identified by. Like all the mistakes I've made in life, like I don't have to identify by those. And I can still walk in purpose, no matter what my past says. Even while I'm becoming the person I need to be. But let's get down to it, and I'm gonna be very, very honest with you guys, man. I got 5 steps. I live by. Let's be real. Not all the time. I try not to miss them, let's be real. But these 5 steps I keep real close to me, and they keep me grounded, keep me focused and moving forward. So no matter what life throws at me, I still stand on these 5 steps. And it keeps me grounded, just like I said. And it keeps me pushing to the next step. So I'm gonna break those 5 steps down to you, and I'm gonna just tell you the things that I be doing. Step one. Listen, I'm so honest with myself that it's to the point. Self-honesty, step 1. The first step of walking out of that room, I had to get like real brutal with myself of how my life was. I had to really admit I wasn't living up to my own standards. My habits didn't nowhere close match my goals. I was doing other stuff, but I was saying I wanted this. Didn't work at all. My environment did not match my vision. The things I was around, the people I was around didn't match the vision that I wanted. And my spiritual life did not match the calling that I was living at that time. It didn't. And that's the honest truth. But it broke the chains holding me in that chair. Made it so hard to move at times. So, step 2, I got some daily non-negotiables. I set non-negotiables so that I can make sure I be honest with myself and create some type of discipline. And every day I get up early. I feed my mind with scripture and learning. I move my body daily. I'm not in the gym or anything like that, but I try to get a lot of walking on, a lot of walking throughout the community. Also, every day I try to build a business and get to the next level in life without fail. 2, I try to stay away from negativity. And those are my bare minimums. Those are my bare minimums. Step 3. Oh, this is another one. Ain't no more sitting down. Step 3, I'm acting before I feel ready. I stop waiting for the perfect time. There's no perfect time. I started moving before I felt ready. The man in the waiting room, he'd been ready all along. I just needed to start walking toward him. And I procrastinated for a long time. Instead of doing what I needed to do and boss my life up and do the things that I know that I can do to be the man that I know I can be. So step 4, I started protecting my environment. I had to cut out what kept me stuck. Conversations, habits, and even some relationships. A lot of that couldn't come with me at all. It hurts. But my environment didn't match my vision at the time. And it had to go. That's without fail. Coming to think about it, there was so much that I was doing in my life that wasn't aligned with the vision that I had in my head. And step 5, man, I was in survival mode so much, man. It made me want more out of life. So step 5, wanting more out of life. Surviving wasn't enough. I wanted more than a paycheck. I wanted a life that felt like mine. And that hunger, the need for more, is really what kept me walking and kept me going. Because I wanted more than what I've ever seen in my life. So every day, I try to follow these steps. I try to follow these five steps that keeps me grounded. These aren't just routines. They're my foundation that keeps me going daily. They remind me who I am, keeps me focused when life gets out of hand, when life gets chaotic. A lot of us think we got it all together. We don't. And these 5 steps keeps me moving with purpose. I make it a point to stick to them daily because the moment I start skipping, I start missing the beat, I start not doing what I need to do, those 5 steps bring me back to reality, and it keeps my mind clear. So there's no more fighting with myself. I just be honest with myself and keep my goals in sight, the things that I want out of life. And these goals, they're not about perfection. They're more about consistency. And over time, that I continue to stick to these 5 steps. The consistency is gonna make life so much better because I've seen where I've came from to where I'm at now. At this point, having more discipline, seeing things from a different perspective. So now at this point, since I'm standing on that and this is where I'm at, I'm walking my guy out of the waiting room. I'm not peeking. I'm not telling y'all I'm still chasing somebody. I'm not peeking through the door. I'm not saying he coming soon. That man I've been talking about, he's here. And every single day I walk further from the waiting room into the world and deeper into life, to the point of I just have a different vision on life. I really want to live the life that I was meant to live. But if you're sitting in your waiting room, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're sitting in your waiting room, and when I say the waiting room, not doing nothing, procrastinating, sitting in your own thoughts and not moving, this is your sign. Get up, move, make it through the day. Set goals next day, make it through the day. But my guy, he wasn't gone. He was waiting. waiting in the room for me to show up and bring him out. And now he's here. I'm him. I'm him. I'm that guy that I've been telling y'all I've been chasing. Still in progress and work. Like, I'm still in progress and work. Like, I'm still working every day. Every single day, yes. But the version of me, he's out of the waiting room. I'm that man that's walking with purpose, and he's never going back to that old person. I'll go back to it again. I don't never say it, I don't never do it, I don't talk about it. Like, I'm not here for the likes. I'm really here for that one guy. I had a guy inbox me today and tell me about one of the videos, and he was telling me that his testimony, he hears it in my speeches. So that kind of touched me. Every time someone replies to a video or talk or comment on it and they speak their truth, it makes me feel like I'm really doing what I need to do. I'm really out here walking in my purpose. So, like, share this video. Hey, I don't care. Somebody needs to hear it. But thank you for watching. This is another video down. I have another one up real soon for you guys to follow up on this one. But hey, life is great. And that guy is out of the waiting room.